Hello everyone! Today I'm turning the rest of my characters into reference sheets for ARTFIGHT. I made reference sheets for two other of my characters in a previous video, Adams and Phage. You can go back to watch that one first, or you can just watch this one. First, I redesigned Adams' reference sheet. Even when I first made it, I feel like the design wasn't really what I had envisioned, and I think this design looked much more like how I draw him in the comic or just in my sketchbook. Now I'm doing Faye Whistler, Phage's previously mentioned twin. I made a few animatics with her, but the gist of her character is that she is the child of a soldier, and now she feels she must become the protector of her family since said parent is not around to do that anymore. She learned a lot about how to handle herself against opponents without a weapon because the village she grew up in really didn't have weapons or even a blacksmith to make them. She won't back down from a challenge, and she's quick to think. So quick, it doesn't even seem like she's thinking at all when she fights. She also uses her strength to make up for her small wings. She was born with wings that refuse to grow any larger than a forearm's length, therefore making her unable to fly. Being an avian, this is devastating. However, since most of her friends are humans, she doesn't need to fly. Even still, she feels her jaw clench when she watches her brother take flight. She now sails with her friends to find more opportunities to learn to fight and protect her loved ones, and maybe find someone who knows why her wings won't grow. Next up on the chopping block is Hamkin Cyril, Adams' cousin. A historian with the power of teleportation, Hamkin tends to get stuck in their own thoughts and is very meticulous about how they act, which means any tussle their friends get into, they stand far away from. They are the child of a tailor, and while they are interested in clothing, they much prefer caring for the sheep they get some of their cloth from. They are also interested in very ancient history. Many years ago, the world went through an apocalypse, and many of the historical records from before and during the time were lost, or are written in untranslatable languages. Hemkin is on a mission to piece that history together, so they go sailing with their friends to find more about the forgotten parts of the past, and make sure their friends don't end up in sticky situations they can't just brute force their ways out of. Finally, Essie. She is probably my least developed one of the group. She's the daughter of a village healer who is the son of a wealthy artisan. She grew up in her grandparents' beautiful manor, but her father decided to move her to the village her late mother grew up in. She never got along great with her peers, and her father practically hid her in the house. Adams and his friends barely saw her until he decided to go on their journey with them. She's very shy around her new friends, and when they start to get close, she tries to distance herself again. But she starts to show more of herself and reveals her excellence in medicine. She relies more on the remedies she mixes up than her healing powers. She's happy to go sailing with her new friends to see the vast world she's only heard tales about. And did I mention she's a pet mountain lion? And those are my characters! Thank you for listening, and here's to another great art fight!